Tensions are high in the Middle East this morning amid the standoff between the U.S. and Iran over that country's nuclear program and future ambitions. The Pentagon has deployed more than 120 aircrafts to the Middle East, in addition to the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Force in the Arabian Sea. And of course, the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, is on its way. President Trump said this week that the Ayatollah has at maximum 2 weeks to reach a deal before, quote, bad things happen. At a ceremony honoring Iran's Paralympians on Saturday, Iran's president says his nation will not back down.
We will not bow down in the face of any of these difficulties. World powers are lining up with cowardice to force us to bow our heads. Just as you did not bow down in the face of difficulties, we will not bow down in the face of these problems.
Now, in the wake of these ongoing threats, at least 4 other nations, aside from the U.S., Sweden, Serbia, Poland, and Australia, have advised their citizens living in Iran to leave the country. Here with us now is retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton, NewsNation senior national security contributor. Always good to see you, General. Good morning.
Good morning, Hena. Always good to be with you.
You and I have talked about this for the past few days now. President Trump said on Thursday that Iran had, quote, 10 to 15 days maximum to make a deal. What do you think of this timeline?
Well, first and foremost, the president absolutely wants to and has set a top priority of coming through with a diplomatic solution. But I think time is running out on the Ayatollah and Iran at this point. You're seeing the largest massing of U.S. firepower really since 2003 when we invaded Iraq. You mentioned you have the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group has now made it past the Strait of Gibraltar, is heading east to the Mediterranean and towards Israel. We have the almost 1/3 of the U.S. naval capabilities in the region are forming there. So the stakes are raising high, and I believe the president is looking at a wide range of options. First, to continue tough diplomatic discussions with Iran. Secondly, there are non-kinetic aspects of this, perhaps cyber. But then also he's really weighing a limited strike option that could be perhaps pursued in the next couple of days. And then there's a massive shock and awe military campaign that I guarantee the president's looking at options as well.
General, as you well know, it's been 23 years since we've seen that much air power and naval assets in the Middle East, and that was the invasion of Iraq in 2003. Is it more of a question of when than if when it comes to these strikes?
I believe it is, and the fact that we've amassed such a strong U.S. military capability, but also since 2003, we've demonstrated the capability, but also the will to use that capability. Most recently, during the Israeli 12-day air campaign, culminating by the United States in that 22 June significant bombing attack by U.S. B-2 bombers and U.S. Tomahawk cruise missiles against Iranian nuclear weapons sites and so forth. So the president has a little bit of a wind at his back here with regard to demonstrating that capability, and that he will follow up on those pronouncements. But again, the president, I believe the United States, position right now would much prefer a diplomatic solution. That's nearly impossible, however, to deal with the Iranians diplomatically. And if you even cut a deal, it's most difficult to even trust them to follow through.
I remember back in June, the president spoke about the bombing campaign against 3 Iranian nuclear sites, saying it was monumental damage was done. Now, forward a few months later, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said the attacks obliterated Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons. So why are we discussing more strikes and more nuclear negotiation talks? How did we go from an obliterated nuclear program to this current situation so quickly?
Well, the challenge is with the Iranians themselves. They still are trying to pursue a nuclear weapons capability despite that significant successful attack on the evening of June 22nd. Secondly, they're also pursuing and have maintained a significant ballistic missile capability, and that will put at threat not only U.S. forces and U.S. national security interests, but our friends and allies in the regions, such as Israel and the Gulf allies. Third, they're still supporting terrorist proxy organizations such as Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and those paramilitary groups, terrorist groups in Iraq, even though they've been somewhat put on their heels since 10/7, but nonetheless, they're still supporting terrorism. The other aspect of this is what's happened since starting on December 28th was there's a human aspect to this with the Iranians protesting in the streets, but Iran, the theocracy, the Ayatollah, and my numbers now tell me have killed up to 10,000 Iranians in the streets. Also, they've jailed tens of thousands as well. And the president made a promise to them that he's got their back. So all that thrown in there, this is new. Continuing, however, how Iran approaches their, relationship not only with their own people, but how they still want to, have dominion over the Mideast.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.